Let's talk Tanya for the 13th of Cheshvan. So we are continuing the condolence letter, which we began yesterday, that the Alter Rebbe wrote to the Chassidim after the passing of Menachem Mendel of Haraduk. And in yesterday's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe explained that the life of a tzaddik is a spiritual life, and therefore that's a life that does not conclude after the soul leaves the body. And those who are connected to the tzaddik can continue to connect to the tzaddik after the passing of the tzaddik to the spiritual life of the tzaddik and continue to be impacted by the tzaddik. And with this, the Alter Rebbe introduces a saying from the Zohar. The Zohar tells us, "Tzadika di ispater ishtakach bekulu almi yater mibechayohi," which means that a tzaddik who passes away is present in all the worlds, even more so than during their lifetime. And the obvious question is, you're telling me that the tzaddik is more present in the higher worlds than the tzaddik was before they passed away. I get that. The tzaddik now is primarily, you can argue, in the higher worlds, in Gan Eden. Even if you want to tell me that the tzaddik still remains over here in this world, because the tzaddik's life is a spiritual life, and even those down here in this world can still continue to connect to the tzaddik and be impacted by the tzaddik, okay, I can buy that also. But here we're saying that the tzaddik is more present in all the worlds, which includes our world, our physical world, more so than during the lifetime of the tzaddik. How does that work? And Alter Rebbe says, because after the tzaddik passes away, we continue to connect to the tzaddik, and we continue to be impacted by the tzaddik. And every single one of us who is impacted by the tzaddik, we are like the tzaddik planted, we are the harvest, we are the trees, we are the fruit. And then, when using the inspiration that we receive from our connection to the tzaddik, we go and we impact other Jews, other people, and get other people to study Torah, other people to do mitzvahs, other people to go in the pathway of that tzaddik, then the tzaddik is even more present in this world. The tzaddik's impact is even more profound and strong in this world than it was even before the tzaddik's soul departed this world. This is in terms of the spiritual connection to a tzaddik. The Alter Rebbe is reassuring the Chassidim, your spiritual connection remains just as it was before. In fact, maybe even the impact of the tzaddik here in this world is even stronger than beforehand. But there's another aspect to the Rebbe-Chassid relationship, and that is that we know that when a Chassid is in distress, the Chassid turns to the Rebbe and says, "Rebbe, please give me a bracha, please bless me, please daven on my behalf, pray on my behalf." But now the Rebbe is not here. So what now? So Alter Rebbe says in that area also, you need not worry. The Zohar tells us that tzaddikim, after they pass away, they continue to protect this world with their prayers. In fact, the Zohar tells us that if not for the prayers of the tzaddikim who have already passed on, this world would not be able to exist even for one moment. So, both in terms of the spiritual connection, that carries on. We can rest assured that Alter Rebbe tells us Chassidim that the Rebbe even now is continuing to pray on your behalf, and therefore, obviously, it doesn't mean that the Chassidim are fine or happy with the current situation, but at least they should know that their connection to the Rebbe and everything that the Rebbe had done beforehand, both of those continue. With this, we've concluded the letter that Alter Rebbe wrote to the Chassidim. In tomorrow's Tanya, we begin a biur, an explanation on this. The Alter Rebbe actually penned an explanation or an elaboration on the ideas that he wrote in this letter.